All right, guys, it's FatKingsPhil coming at you on a Sunday afternoon. Well, it's probably evening, really, going into evening with this daylight savings change. We are going to make Australian sausage rolls. And I'm mixing it up a little bit this time, changing up the recipe just a touch. So what we've got here is Johnsonville Italian sausage, mild. I prefer spicy, but I'm going to start with the mild because normally this just calls for pork sausage. It doesn't call for any spiced sausage. We've got parsley, we've got carrots, we've got an onion, and we've got puff pastry back here. The recipe I've got calls for some other goodies. Some things like tomato sauce and what have you. But so we'll be mixing that all together first. But we need a food processor to grind all this stuff up and to chop it up first. And then I've got to actually mix it all together into almost like a paste. So I will get right back. All right, let the... Okay, so here is my chopped up carrots, onions, parsley. I have now put in the processing blade, and I'm going to put all of that back in there along with the sausage, and we'll be right back. All right, guys, so this is the sausage, carrots, onions, parsley. We got some breadcrumbs in there. We got a little bit of tomato in there. It calls for tomato sauce. I used some actual chopped up tomato instead. And then a little bit of garlic powder. Because again, I'm looking for a little more zest than the last batch I made. Because the ones I had in Australia had a little bit more of a zest to them. So these are highly modified. Obviously, I'm using a lot of vegetables here to take out some of the calories. I've upped the I upped the parsley and the carrot content a little more than the recipe calls for. So I had to use a little bit, and I use a little less breadcrumb too. So these take a little longer to cook because I really got to dry the vegetables out. But so the next step is going to be to get out the puff pastry, cut it, and then we will start spooning this into the puff pastry, rolling them up, and put them on the sheet. Right back. Okay, I've taken the puff pastry out of the box. It's actually something you got to cut in half this way and then unfold it. I'm going to try and roll these a little tighter. I'm probably going to cut these in half again this way. But we're going to see how much material I can get in there. Last time they were a little bit extra pastry-ish. The puff pastry exceeded the sausage amount. So I got to try and tighten that up a little bit. So we'll see how we do here, and I'll show you guys when they're rolled. All right, guys, I got them all rolled up here. You can see I got 2 trays with them. A lot less of the dough than last time, the pastries. So already saving some calories right there. I've got quite a bit left. I could have made another 3 of them based on this before I used all of it. So the last batch I used all the dough. So already saved some calories right there. Again, increased the veggies a little bit in the mix. So we're good here. I am warming up the oven. That beep you heard in the background, so it's at 425 right now. It's 200 degrees Celsius. I got to double check the math on that before I stick these in there. I just kind of roughly guessed it, and we'll be back. All right, quick change there. It's actually 400 degrees. It's actually 395 if you convert 200 to Celsius, but we're going with 400. And the recipe calls for 25 minutes. I'm going to put them in for 25 on the lower rack, but I'm going to check them a little early and make sure they're not browning up too much on the top. You're supposed to put an egg wash on them to help with that. I'm trying to actually avoid browning them up too much on the top right now because I've got to bake them a little longer due to the higher vegetable content to get some of that did we see that? That's not going to fit. That's going to be a problem. Now we are going to have interesting times. All right, so we'll see how this goes. Turn that one that way. Turn this one that way as well. We'll just have to keep an eye on them. So we'll be back. All right, guys, 30 minutes in the oven. I did rotate the sheets on the different levels of the racks in the onion, in the oven, rather not the onion, the oven, and basically brown them up equally. So you can see even without the egg wash, they will brown. I am at high altitude, so that does make a little bit of a factor in some of the baking situations, but everything looks good. They look nice and yummy there. My dog choking in the background. I don't know what. But yeah, they look like they're going to be tasty. I'll let you guys know. Okay, guys, here they are. They are finished. As you can see, somebody's been picking at these already. I'm going to take a little bite. You'll notice the pastry's a lot thinner. Well, you guys didn't see the previous ones, but it's very flaky. It's coming right off. Probably not getting the full effect here, but here we go. We're going to taste test this. Much zestier this time around. Tasty. It's very good. More of the yellow onion. I didn't use the yellow onion last time. I used the red onion. A little bit of garlic this time and some real tomato. So really made the difference. Made it pop. A little less of the pastry to kind of give the meat more flavor and the vegetables. That's how you do it. Thanks for tuning in. Until next time, remember, it's good to be the king.